The Vanderbilt family is one of the wealthiest and most prominent families in American history. They made millions of dollars in no time and became one of the most wealthy families. They gained prominence during the Gilded Age, when their success began with the shipping and railroad empires of Cornelius Vanderbilt. His net worth in those days was over $200 million. That made him richer than any wealthy family that exists today. Though he had endless wealth, he was still not accepted by American high society. Let's have a detailed look at what were the complications that didn't let him bind into society. Early history. The Vanderbilt family can trace its roots back to the Netherlands, where the Vanderbilts, the family's original name, were a family of farmers and merchants. In the early 17th century, Jan Arsten Vanderbilt immigrated to America, where he settled in New Amsterdam, now New York City. His son Cornelius Vanderbilt was a successful farmer and ferry operator. In 1792, he bought a small steamboat called the Clermont and began operating a regular passenger service between New York City and Albany. This was the beginning of the Vanderbilt family's involvement in the shipping industry. Cornelius Vanderbilt. Cornelius Vanderbilt, 1794 to 1877, was the son of Cornelius Vanderbilt. He was a brilliant businessman who had a knack for spotting opportunities and seizing them. In the early 1800s, he began investing in steamships and eventually became the largest owner of steamships in the United States. Cornelius was famous for his unmatched excellence. The way he borrowed $100 and made $100 million from it was truly exceptional. He left school at the age of 11, and after not finding solace in farming, he borrowed $100, went to a harbor, and bought a yacht, then going onwards to a steam engine, to a complete deck, and eventually the biggest shipping organization in America. He also invested in railroads, and by the time of his death in 1877, he was one of the richest men in the world, with a net worth of nearly $200 million at that time. The Vanderbilt dynasty. Cornelius Vanderbilt had 14 children, and his descendants went on to become some of the most influential people in American society. His son, William Henry Vanderbilt, 1821 to 1885, inherited his father's business empire and expanded it even further. His father was a bit suspicious about the effectiveness of Henry, but once he came into the business, through his excellent strategies, he went on making more money, and within 6 years, he managed to double the wealth left by his dad. But this was the time when he got fed up managing it all and started to spend it. In those times, he also built the Biltmore House, which is now the largest privately owned home in the United States. Then it all came down to William Henry Vanderbilt's sons, Cornelius Vanderbilt II, 1843 to 1899, and William Kissam Vanderbilt, 1849 to 1920, continuing to grow the family's fortune. Cornelius Vanderbilt II was a shrewd businessman who built a vast network of railroads and steamships. William Kissam Vanderbilt was a more flamboyant figure who enjoyed spending his money on lavish homes, yachts, and other luxuries. The decline of the Vanderbilts. The Vanderbilt family wealth and power reached its peak in the late 19th century. However, by the early 20th century, the family began to lose its grip on its fortune. This was due to a number of factors, including the rise of new industries such as oil and steel, and the increasing taxes imposed by the federal government. After Henry's death, trying to be accepted by the uppermost society, his family expanded into various other areas of industry and philanthropy and went on spending the wealth. When the topic of spending comes, the name of Henry's wife, Alva Belmont, pops up. She was the one who forced Henry to spend money so they could be accepted by New York's upper class. For this sole purpose, she would spend millions of dollars on mansions, private yachts, and antique art pieces. Furthermore, she'd arrange parties at her house and spend millions of dollars. They even started to gamble. It wasn't affecting them this much because Henry was constantly bringing more wealth, but after his death, his descendants weren't able to make money anymore. All they did was to build grand mansions on Fifth Avenue in New York City, luxurious summer cottages in Newport, Rhode Island, the palatial Biltmore House in Asheville, North Carolina, and various other opulent homes. They kept going on vacation all across the globe and wasting money in every possible way. The Vanderbilts continued to live lavish lifestyles, but they were no longer the richest family in America. By the mid-20th century, the family's fortune had been largely dissipated. However, the Vanderbilts still remain to be one of the most prominent families in American history, and they have got a lifelong lesson for the masses. Legacy. The Vanderbilt family has left a lasting legacy on American society. Their wealth and power helped to shape the country during the Gilded Age, and their lavish lifestyles and philanthropic efforts helped to define the American upper class. The Vanderbilts also played a significant role in the development of transportation and industry in the United States. Their contributions to American society are undeniable, and their legacy will continue to be felt for generations to come. The decline of the Vanderbilts' fortune is a cautionary tale about the dangers of wealth and the importance of financial planning. The Vanderbilts were a family of great wealth and power. However, they were also a family that was undone by their own excesses. Their story is a reminder that even the richest families can fall from grace. If you like this video, please press the like button, subscribe to the channel, so we can bring more interesting old money stories to you.